Alright, so today I'm going to do a little review on the Planet Eclipse Gtek. This gun retails brand new, the standard edition, just standard colors that first came out with the gun, at $549, US dollars of course. So let's get into it. First thing I'm going to start out with is the case. All Planet Eclipse markers come in a hard case. The Gtek markers, this case is a little bit specific. It says Game On it, and it comes in a few different colors. I believe purple, green, blue, and that might be it. Purple, green, and blue, I think. And orange, of course, mine. But I think it's just random. But let's get into the some of the important stuff. So as you can see, when you open it up, you have the marker. You have a tool set. All Planet Eclipse markers come with a nice Allen key tool set. You have a very extensive parts kit right here. You have a generous amount of Planet Eclipse gun grease. I recommend using this with the gun, not anything else. I mean, everybody's specific about the grease they like to use, but I just prefer using this. Works perfectly. We'll just touch briefly real quick on the barrel because I'll get into that a little bit more later, but it just comes with a two-piece barrel in your manual, and we'll get into a little bit more of that later. But for now, let's take a look at the gun. Alright, so here is the Planet Eclipse Gtek. As you can see, it is a mix of aluminum and composite. For the most part, the upper assembly is aluminum, excluding the feed neck, the eye covers, and the bolt cap. The lower assembly has a little bit of aluminum, which is the ASA. But most of the bottom lower receiver of the gun is all composite, just as the trigger frame, trigger, and the grip frame. So we'll start off from the top and work our way down. We'll start off with the feed neck. It is a clamping feed neck, so you insert your hopper or loader into the top, clamp it down by twisting this, and then just close this, which clamps it down fully, and you're good to go. And then what it allows you to do is so that you can just take off your hopper or loader, pull this back, pull it off, and when you're ready to go back to playing, you just stick it right back on and close this. Next thing we're going to talk about, of course, is going to be the inside right here. I don't know if you can see it. Try like that. But it does not have an eye pipe like die guns, which is eye pipes are specific to the die guns. It just has the detents right here, which isn't really a problem because this gun doesn't break paint, so it does its job, and I'm fine with it. Next thing we'll talk about, the regulator. I'm not sure exactly what the regulator is called, but I know it is the same regulator that they use on all their high-end markers. So, which is proven in its consistency because I pretty much get plus or minus 3 feet per second on every shot with about 6 cases through it so far. So, very consistent marker for your $549 or $550 US dollar starting point. Next thing I want to talk about is the trigger. It is not a magnetic trigger, it is a spring trigger, yet is a higher quality spring trigger. So it doesn't feel like I know my brother's a proto rail. That's one of my gripes about it is that it's the spring trigger just feels loose. Doesn't feel as high quality. Whereas this trigger, it's a lot stiffer, which is what I really like in these guns. For $550, it should feel like a good gun, and it should perform like one. I mean, this isn't a low-end marker, it's a mid-end marker. So it should perform well. Next thing we're going to talk about is the optional OLED board. I do not have mine in. I don't have one yet. I personally don't need one. In time I might get one, but as of right now, it's just not something I want. Right now I'm just using this button which turns on the marker, and I can also use it to turn off the eyes. And once I put it in program mode, I can use it to change modes. Also, the trigger is used to change modes. But the manual that comes with this gun is pretty descriptive on how to do that, so I'm not going to show how to do that in this video. Okay. Next thing we'll talk about is the grips. It is not as thin as a Dye Ultralight, so if you're coming from any Dye or Proto gun, it's going to feel a little bit thicker. I personally like it to feel thicker, the grip frame. That's just my personal preference. It might be because I have longer fingers, but I really like how it feels in the hands. I also like how as you can see, it might be hard to see, but the rubber grip fits very tightly to the grip frame, so it's really hard for water to get in here, which I have played in rain before, and I've never gotten a drop of water inside the grip frame or inside any part of the gun. The only problem with rain though is at the feed neck right here. Usually I like to put something around here, maybe some electrical tape, just kind of roll it up and tie it around here real quick, or some plastic wrap, something like that, just to keep the rain out of there. But besides that, this thing's practically watertight, but I would not recommend, even if you wrap this up, I would not recommend sticking it underwater ever. Not if you don't play in heavy rain if you don't have to. But if you do, this gun, very solid, very durable, it'll probably hold up. Let's see, so we talked about the grips. Next thing we'll talk about is the macro line. This is not an inline regulator system, so it is not a gas through system. It has a macro line. Not a big deal for someone like me. It doesn't bother me. I don't notice it while I'm playing, so I've never had problems with the macro line. So far I'm happy with it. Another feature right here on the ASA, it is just a screw-on ASA. Some people complain saying, why didn't you put the pops on there? It doesn't really matter to me. I don't mind taking the extra 3 seconds just to screw it on like this, just like that. On, take it off, just like that. It's degassed. It's not a problem to me. Never has been. So, I mean, I like it. So now we'll get into the internals. So first thing, take out the gamma core. Put the gun off to the side. So this is the gamma core. It looks and performs very similar to the high-end markers. I have shot the 3.5 and CS1, and my opinion might be biased towards the Gtek since this is what I own. But I also have gotten the owners of those two guns to shoot the Gtek, and they say it shoots very, very, very similar to the 3.5. So, I mean, it's very reliable, very durable. I don't lube this every time I play. Usually I'll grease it every other time, unless I go more than I'd say more than a month, then I'll re-grease it. But if it's within that time period, I don't re-grease it. Very easy to take apart. I actually looks like got a little dust in here. Anyways, when I grease it up, I simply just put some grease inside the can, back here, and a little bit on this part of the bolt. I would not recommend putting grease on the, I believe it's called the front bumper O-ring. Don't quote me on that though. But don't put grease on here, because what's going to happen is this is going into the breech of the gun. And what will happen is you will get grease inside the breech, and it will cause slick spots, and your paintball will hit that slick spot. It'll cause some spin, and you will get a little bit of problems with the accuracy. So you want to leave the front bumper degreased. Mine's a little bit dirty right now because I haven't greased it in probably about 3 or 4 times in about 2 months. Yet I'm still shooting perfectly straight shots, and maybe plus, as I said earlier, plus about 2 or 3 or 4 feet per second on the chronograph. Next thing you want to grease up is back here. This I've yet to re-grease since I've gotten it from the factory. from Planet Eclipse, which was probably about 6 months ago. I've never re-greased this, never had a problem with it. I will probably re-grease it very soon, because I'll probably start re-greasing this about every 5 cases, and I've hit 6 cases, so I'm actually probably due for a re-grease on this. But no problem with it. I really don't have to. But it just shows how durable and consistent this gamma core really is. So stick this back in the gun. There we go. All right. Oh, that's actually one more point I want to point out real quick. Not all mid-end markers come with a quick release bolt. So, some do, some don't, but this is just a really good feature. All right, so I hope you enjoyed my review of the Planet Eclipse Gtek. I plan to do a little bit of shooting, or as you can see in my first-person videos on YouTube. You can already see some of the Gtek shooting, but I might do a little bit of a third-person shooting in my backyard, so you can maybe a different perspective of what you want to see, maybe some barrel rise. So I'll do a little comparison of that, maybe with the Proto Rail. So final thoughts on this gun. It's really good, really durable. I used to own the Proto Rail, which was a low-end gun. It's now my brother's gun. But the only thing that the Proto Rail probably beats this on is that the Proto Rail is probably quieter. This gun is very quiet. The Proto Rail is extremely quiet. If you've ever shot one before, you'll know what I'm talking about. This gun is really quiet, very minimal kick, I'll tell you now, but I'll show you in a future video. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Alright, so guys, I almost forgot, one more thing I almost forgot about is the barrel. I just wanted to show you real quick the barrel. Promise you guys I'd show it to you, so I'll show it to you real quick. And the manual, I'll let you see the manual real quick, because some people are really into the manual. Yet the Gtek comes with a not an online. Well, actually, I believe you can download the manual online. But the personally, what I used to learn the different how to take care of the gun was actually on the Planet Eclipse website, where they have a whole playlist of different what you need to do to keep your Gtek working. So we'll look at the manual real quick. As you can see, high quality manual. It's really all you need. It goes through all the what all the different lights mean. Right here tells you how there's any jams or anything. If your eyes aren't working, which sometimes which I've not had that problem yet. So, and it also has for if you get the OLED separately, or if you when you buy the gun, it also has the separate directions for the OLED. So good manual. I believe it has a parts breakdown in the back, or a full disassembly. Let's see. Yeah, looks like it does. I forget where it is though. Anyways, alright, I'll show you the barrel real quick. 2-piece shaft barrel. This is a 6.89 back, and a tip. I believe it's a 14.5 inch barrel. Has porting all around it. When I do play in the rain, what I'll do is actually I have it right here, because last time I played it was raining, and what I'll do is I'll wrap it in plastic wrap like this, and then I'll take some electrical tape, as you can see right here, and I'll just put it right here, put little two pieces of electrical tape right here to hold it on, and that'll keep the rain out of the porting. That's all you need to do for this gun when you're playing in the rain. So yeah, but this barrel shoots very straight. It is very well honed, as you can see. And one more thing that always throws me off is that it is actually reverse threaded. So to put it on as reverse threaded and screwed in your gun, it is the correct threading. So there's the barrel. Alright, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll definitely put out another video soon of the shooting in third person. And thanks for watching. See you next time.